Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk But No Politics, okay? Here on Helium Radio Network. Coming to you every Friday, excuse me there. Coming to you every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching as well as I try and post my bonus episodes on YouTube as well if I can make a video extra content there. So without further ado, let me get into my sponsor. Once again, every bonus episode is sponsored by the Podcast Precinct. If you live in the Western New York area and you want to start a podcast, not quite sure how to do it, you don't want to spend the money on the equipment, go check out the Podcast Precinct. You can find them on Facebook. They're located in North Tonawanda, New York. Two recording sections. One is more cozy, comfy, I guess you could say, casual, as you can sit on a couch, record with your guest, or record by yourself in a very comfortable setting. And there's also an enclosed recording studio as well. So there's many ways to record, many ways to enjoy, and they also have many events as well going on there. Plus, just information galore on how to start a podcast, even if you want to record from home, what equipment, and they offer editing services as well. So if you're in the Western New York area, you want to start a podcast, you want to get into this whole social media game, go check out the Podcast Precinct, send them a message. They can help you out and get you on the right path. So today we have, or I don't know, there's an audience. Tiering 90s movies. I did 80s movies. Now I want to do 90s. I saw this on the lovely Tier Maker. So without further ado, like I said, don't have a whole lot of time. So let's get tiering. Kind of like Darkwing Duck, let's get dangerous, let's get tiering. So our first movie is, or actually, wait a minute here. Go over everything once again. There's the S tier. That's like the superstar tier. The A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, F tier. So A tier is not, as you can figure out, not quite as good as S, but is good there. You have the B tier, C tier, just middle of the road. D, kind of good, but not middle of the road. F, just horrible, and then unseen. Because sometimes you don't see all these movies. So let's get going here with the first one, the live action 101 Dalmatians. I can say I've never seen this. Didn't interest me. I don't want to see it. I may have seen it, but if it was with my kids, and it wasn't in the 90s per se, so I probably fell asleep. But I didn't want to do that. Next one is, I didn't want to watch it. Maybe I did want to fall asleep. Is 10 Things I Hate About You. I'm going to go A. It's up there as one of those 90 teens movies. I was mostly a teen in the 90s. So this movie kind of spoke to me. Late Heath Ledger. I forget what the girl's name is. The girl, I know the youngest daughter played Alex Mack. Can we give it up for the dad, Larry Miller? He played a great role in this as well. Who else is it? Gordon Levitt as well in there. Pretty decent cast, pretty decent movie. I'll give it A. Not quite an S, but I will give it an A tier. So next one, Sixth Sense. This is a funny story with this one. I'm giving this a B. It's a really good movie. It catches you offhand, but if you ever listen to my movie reviews or the main podcast, on the BICPP Radio Network or any of the other platforms you can catch them on, you know that I get kind of impatient with movies and I just want to know what happened. And this is one of the movies I remember walking to the mall with my friend and he's like, "Have you seen The Sixth Sense yet?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And I go, "Can you just tell me what happened? Because everybody talks about it." So he told me what happened. Spoiler: Bruce Willis's character is dead in this whole entire movie, and that's why this kid can see him. And Haley Joe Osment, but very good movie, very well thought out. It's just one of those movies that when I did get a chance to watch it, I kind of already knew the ending because I was impatient to see it. But is it an A? Is it an S? No, because I don't think I'm gonna go. I don't seek it out to rewatch it, so that's why I put it at a B. But I know the greatness of the movie. That's why it's not a C, D, or an F. So next one we have Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, easily S tier all the way. I went to the movies to see this with my dad. I'm a huge Dolphins fan. If you listen to the 2 Point Conversation, you know that. Huge Dan Marino fan. So how can I not put this in S tier as well? Dan Marino plays a great role in it. Jim Carrey's awesome. Tone Loc, Courtney Cox, just awesome, awesome movie. One of those movies where they just let Jim Carrey be Jim Carrey and he steals the show and he just just dominates it and it's awesome all the way around. Another reason why I wanted to see his kid because of Jim Carrey because I watched A Living Color. So Jim Carrey's classic characters on there, Fire Marshal Bill, the workout lady thing. So I definitely wanted to see it, and this movie still does not disappoint, and I still watch it to this day, pretty much as possible. The only thing is, I think I like the second one a little bit better. Addams Family. It's a B. I won't sit there and watch it myself. I would watch it with one of my kids. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to mesh both from when I was a kid and now, and that's where I come to the conclusion. As a kid, I love this movie. It was a great movie. I watched, Adam Family's reruns. It was one of the shows that my dad actually did watch, kind of rerun wise, and doing the song of, the Adams Family and snapping your fingers. Sorry, I'm not singing, but it was a really, really great show, and I really enjoyed it. It's just not something today though where if I was younger I'd probably put it in A or S, but today I'm like, if my kids want to watch it, I'll watch it. All right. Aladdin. By the time Aladdin came out, I was pretty older. Not too hyped on Disney movies, but you got the late great Robin Williams. Uh, since we're going 90s movies and how I felt about things in the 90s and how I feel about them now, I'll give it a B. It's a good one. I'm not going to sit there and watch it. If I see it, Disney Plus, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, Aladdin, let's watch it." I watched a little bit of the live action one, but even that I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to do it. I don't care about it. And that's why I got to put it at B. It's not middle of the road because I know how cool it was in the 90s. And we had that, there's always that one teacher that wouldn't play, uh, or where in school you had to play only like certain type of movies you could only play at certain age, G or PG, but you always had that teacher that was like, I'm going to play the G movie so that way it's not anything crazy in case something does happen. And this was like one of those movies that we had to watch in like middle school because of that teacher. But it's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's not an A or an S for me. Just not an A or an S. The Big Lebowski. The Dude Abides. Boom. S tier all the way. Just wore some Big Lebowski socks the other day. Uh, as I got older and started watching movies, I kind of liked the weirder, offbeat movies, Royal Tenenbaums, stuff like that. And that's what this is. This is a wacky, wacky tale of the dude. and he goes out there and, they piss on his carpet. All he wants to do is bowl and drink White Russians. Wearing the house coat to the supermarket was such a cool movie. I remember watching this on pay-per-view, and that is why it's an S tier. It's right up there. It's I think it's definitely a cult film, but you need something special with it. You got to have that special mindset to go with it to be able to say, "Oh man, I love The Big Lebowski." But that is definitely an S tier movie for me. Billy Madison, S tier once again. This wasn't Adam Sandler's first movie. It was the one called Going Overboard, but this was his first, I feel, his first kind of big breakout movie. So that is why it's an S tier. This is something I still watch today. I'm like, oh my goodness, Billy Madison's on Netflix. Billy Madison's here. And I watch it. And I watch it constantly because Billy Madison's such a great movie. Very quotable, very amazing, very awesome. Love Billy Madison. A Bug's Life. Where am I going with A Bug's Life? I know my mom likes it. It's C. It's okay. It's not that I'm going to watch. It's something I watched once when it came out. But other than that, I'm not seeking this movie out. So that is why it's middle of the road for me. Here we go. Clueless, S tier, iconic, 100%. I don't think you can have a 90s movies list without putting Clueless on there. Like you think 90s movies, Clueless is right there. That's how I have it in my mind. S tier, 100% all the way. Everybody loved Clueless. I don't think there's too many people that didn't love Clueless. Oh, here's a cult. Crybaby. I'm going to put Crybaby as in an A. If you listen to This Week in Pop Culture History Review, I talked about PCU being one of those movies like Airborne that were constantly played over and over again. And this is Crybaby as well. Crybaby was the same way. I love Crybaby. I wish there was somewhere in the streaming service that would do Crybaby. Hatchet Face, Tracy Lords is in it, Johnny Depp, Ricky Lake. I believe it's a John Waters film, so it's always something kooky. I love Crybaby. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love Crybaby. Mrs. Doubtfire. This is kind of weird for me. I'm going to go A. It was a fun movie when I watched it when I was younger, but I don't think I would really, really, really want to watch it again. But I know what it is. Another great Robin Williams movie, so I got to go there. Dumb and Dumber. S tier all the way. What's better than Dumb and Dumber? I don't know. It's just a great all-around film. I love it to this day. I even like the second one, even though I don't think the second one was that great. But I do like the storyline of both of them. Very quotable movie. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels just steal the show, play off of each other so well. And that's why it's an S tier. Here's one that might shock people. I've never seen Face Off. Never, ever, ever have I ever seen Face Off. I don't know why I've never seen it. I just never seen Face Off. Fight Club. S tier. Because it gives you that rebellious vibe, I believe. The rebellious vibe. So it's one of... You gotta kind of like it at the... Gotta like it at the end. Blows up all the credit card companies. All a debt goes to zero. The rules of Fight Club and a cool twist at the end. I love Fight Club. Definitely S tier. Flintstones, C. It was cool for the time. I'm not going to seek it out. Some cool, what is it? What we got? Cool Happy Meal toys. But other than that, I don't think I would actually like go look for this guy. Flubber's D. Even though I love Robin Williams, D. Not quite an F, just a D for me. Nothing great, nothing wonderful. All right, so here's one right here. This is Forrest Gump. This is my favorite movie of all time. So where else would I put it but S tier? I don't know why it's my favorite movie of all time. It just is my favorite movie of all time, and that's why it goes into S tier. I love the story. I don't. The only thing that I could think where I really fell in love with it is my year of sixth grade. I think it was around the same time this came out. I broke my foot. Forrest Gump had braces. Felt kind of a connection, but it's just a movie of a guy that gets not very smart, but is always kind of seems to be in the right place and just lives the best life and does the best thing. Another one I've never seen is Good Will Hunting. A goofy movie. Max just wants to go camping. Goofy just wants to hang out with Max. Oh, geez. Where do I put this? I haven't seen this in years. I'll go see. I think I'd probably watch this again, but the great memory I have of this is I went to go see it with a friend of mine, even though I was older when this came out. He had a younger brother. They were going to the movies to see a goofy movie. He said, "Do you want to come along?" I said, "Yeah." And I saw this, and I'm sitting at home with my mom at dinner, and she goes, "What movie did you go see today?" And I said, "A goofy movie." And she said, "Don't get smart with me. What movie did you go see today?" And I'm like, "Mom, it was a goofy movie." She's like, "I don't care how the movie was. Tell me the name of the movie." And finally, my brother stepped in and was like, "Mom, that's the name of the movie. It's a goofy movie. It's about Goofy." So I do have that memory, but it's a C. I'm going to try to get to all these. Hercules, never saw. I've seen bits and pieces, but I got to put it under unseen because you got to see a whole movie to actually kind of rate it. Hocus Pocus, this might get a little thing. It was awesome when I was a kid, but it's dropped down so many tiers, and when I kind of average it out of my head, it's a C. It's nothing great. I don't find it that great. I don't watch it because it's Halloween anymore. So there you go. Home Alone's an S. Definitely an S tier movie. It's Home Alone. I don't have to say too much about it. It's kind of like the Hall of Fame writer when they were asking if Peyton Manning needs to be in the Hall of Fame, and he said, "We're talking about Peyton Manning here." Hook. Just did a movie review on Hook not too long ago. I think I'm going to put it in A. Not quite an S, but in an A because I think it's a great lesson for adults and kids and helps the adults to remind themselves that not to take life too seriously, have some fun. Your kids are not around, well, I don't want to say that, but they're going to grow up at some point and pretty much not to take life too seriously and just live your best life when you can. Hunchback of Notre Dame, saw maybe a couple scenes. Iron Giant, I'm not a fan of Vin Diesel. He did the voice. I'm gonna go B just for the story. I almost went C, but I'm definitely gonna go B on it just for that reason. It has a great but sad story. I'm not a big fan. I do like it. I'm gonna give it a B, like I said, just because of the story. The miniseries It, I think, goes into the S tier. That was done really well for being television, not just theatrical movie, but actual television, and it was done really, really, really well. Special effects, I mean, do they stand up to today special effects wise? No, but was it a good movie special effects wise? Yeah. Great story, and that's why I got it into the S tier. The way that they did everything with it was just, I thought, pretty good. So that is definitely why I'm putting it into an S tier. Plus, after watching it, I didn't like sleep for like a week without the lights. Let's see what we got next one. Jumanji. It's kind of in there with Flubber. Cool movie. Nothing too great. This is the 90s version with Robin Williams. Eh, it's Jumanji. It's a D. It's a D. I don't know how else I can really kind of put it out there. Jurassic Park, S tier. If there was a higher tier, I would put it up there. Uh, great, great, great movie. I don't, geez, special effects, everything. It's dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs. You're a kid. I don't care what age you are. The way that the action plays out, the way that everything plays out, it is probably. It's definitely one of the greatest movies ever. But Jurassic Park is absolutely amazing. Lion King, give it a C. It's the Lion King. It's nothing that I search for now. I do believe I went to go see this in the movies as well. Yeah, but like I said, nothing off the wall crazy about it. I'm not like jump up and down when I see The Lion King. Little Rascals, though, I will put into a B tier. Definitely, definitely a B tier. I it's the Little Rascals. It's a great movie. Remake of the the I think it was they were serials, right? Like old movie serials. You go to the theater to watch. Cool story, great cameos in there. Gotta love it. Matilda, here's one. I was probably older. I didn't really care too much, but I would put it in a B tier. Danny DeVito plays a great role in this. The little girl that plays Matilda also was in Mrs. Doubtfire. This is something I watched more with my kids, and it was just a great, heartwarming movie, great ending, great everything to it. Men in Black. We are A tier. Give it A tier. Went to the movies with my cousin to see this. Mind blowing. This is Will Smith making that climb. Kind of little got put into the alien guy phrase there. But this was a cool climb to the top between this and Independence Day. We pretty much just knew him as the Fresh Prince. And then, from his show, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So, but an A. I wouldn't say an S, but an A. Mulan, I never saw. Still don't, and I don't want to. My Girl, I'll give an S. This was Macaulay Culkin in a new role. I know he played in The Good Son, where he played a little bit of an evil role, but he wasn't. He wasn't that outgoing kid like a Kevin McAllister or the character that he played in Uncle Buck. Anna Klumsky, I want to say. I'm so bad with names. Was good in this. Jamie Lee Curtis reuniting with Dan Aykroyd from their trading places days there. Great story, sad story. Talked about this too also with Chris Chavez. Macaulay Culkin played Thomas J. And that was a death. That was like, oh my goodness. It got you. It got you right in the heart. And that's why I got to put this right into the S tier. So, Newsies, never saw it. I wanted to as a kid, but I never saw it. Here's another one people might get mad at me about is uh, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it is definitely like a C. I don't jump up and down when I see The Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't care. It's nothing. It's a cool concept. I'm not going to lie. It's a cool movie. It's a cool concept, but it is not my cup of tea when it comes to movies. So, therefore, it's right there. The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. Never saw. Pocahontas, I saw in school, but nothing stands out. I'll give it a D. I don't even know what this one is. Mugunk or something. Uh, that's no, I've never seen that one. Pulp Fiction gets an S. This was my introduction into Quentin Tarantino, my big time introduction into Samuel L. Jackson and what Samuel L. Jackson is today. I can't say enough about Pulp Fiction. Probably, definitely in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. They're great. Robin Hood Men in Tights. I want to say this was my induction into Mel Brooks, but that was more Spaceballs and probably like the history of the world. But, geez. I'm going to give it an A or an S. I'm going to give it an S. An S all the way. 100%. S all the way. I'm just trying to hurry up. Romeo and Juliet, F. Did not care. Sandlot. There's only one spot for this, and that is in the S tier. If you're a little kid, you love baseball, or you played baseball, The Sandlot was amazing, even though it was set in the 1960s. It still it spoke to you, still speaks to you today. I went through a whole summer when I had to watch nothing but The Sandlot, like over and over and over and over again. And Edward Scissorhands, I'll give it an A. It was cool. Cool movie. Different. I think it's one of Vincent Price's last roles. I love the Avon products with, him poking the hole into the waterbed as well. Great movie. Scream, now that I think about it, it's a C. It's nothing that I'd go back and watch over and over and over again. It's a C. It's a C. I'm sorry. 7. What's in the box? Where do I tier? Where do I tier? I'll give it an A. Cool story, very different. Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow, all great actors. Pretty awesome as well. Silence of the Lambs, I'm going to go A as well. Great movie, great little plot twist at the end. And there we go. Sister Act, that's an A. That's an A as well. And that is it's a great movie. It's one of Whoopi Goldberg's probably last great movies. Outside of maybe something like Jumpin' Jack Flash. But if you are listening on Helium, I'm going to cut this a little bit short, but you can catch the rest of this 90s tiering on the YouTube channel. I'm just going to go through what movies I did so far and wrap this up. So S tier, we have Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Big Lebowski, Billy Madison, Clueless, Dumb and Dumber, Fight Club, Forrest Gump, Home Alone, It, Jurassic Park, My Girl, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Pulp Fiction, Sandlot. A tier, 10 Things I Hate About You, Crybaby, Mrs. Doubtfire, Hook, Men in Black, Edward Scissorhands, 7, Silence of the Lambs, and Sister Act. B tier, The Sixth Sense, Addams Family, Aladdin, The Iron Giant, Little Rascals, Matilda, A Bug's Life, Flintstones, this is all C, Goofy Movie, Hocus Pocus, The Lion King, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Scream, D tier Flubber, Jumanji, Pocahontas. F tier Romeo and Juliet. Unseen, 101 Dalmatians. That's a live action one. Face Off, Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill Hunting, Hercules, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, Newsies, and The Parrot Trap and some giant wolf movie. Those are all in the unseen. So continuing on, because I do a video and then that's my bonus episode, I'm going to go with continue on with this because this is a lot of fun. So thank you for watching this on YouTube. Space Jam, new one coming out. I'm gonna go A. I want to go S, but I'm gonna go A. It was cool though to see Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny, two pop culture icons, in a movie together. So I gotta give it that. Stuart Little, a C. Nothing too spectacular. I'm only gonna give Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, Episode 1, a B tier because of the hype. Was it a great movie? No, but it was a lot of hype. It was a lot of greatness. It was a lot of fun because you got to try and relive Star Wars. Was it the greatest Star Wars movie ever? No, but it's pretty good. What else we got here? We have The Craft. And I gotta put this. I'm gonna put this B. It's nothing I'd probably watch again, but it was a cool movie for the time. So that's why I'll definitely put that in a B. Mask with Drew Carey. Jim Carrey. I'll give this an A. I thought this is part of the climb of Jim Carrey at this point. Is it Ace Ventura? No, but it's still fun. Really fun to watch. The Matrix. Doing a Matrix retrospective that should be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Please check that out with my friend Bryce Benjamin from Sports Your Enthusiasm. And I will put that in. The Matrix goes. The Matrix, as the movie, the first movie alone, I'll put it in S because it was very mind blowing. If you wait and catch the Matrix retrospective, like I said, that Bryce Benjamin from Sports Your Enthusiasm and myself did, you'll see how I truly feel about the Matrix trilogy. Titanic, F, boring, hated it. Speaking of Living Color. If anybody got that reference. Toy Story, S tier. Favorite Disney Pixar movie of all time. I could not. It's amazing. Tom Hanks is my favorite actor. Okay, blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear about that, and I know I should get some blowback on that one as well, but that's just how it is. The Truman Show, S tier. If anybody listens to my show, I will definitely say it. My sign off is from The Truman Show. This is my favorite Jim Carrey movie because it's so different, so fun, and it blew the Matthew McConaughey movie Ed TV out of the water. But I really, really, really enjoyed this. And Twister, I'm in tornado season right now in Texas, so it's a C. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I'll give it a C. Wayne's World. I just asked this question the other day on my Facebook page. Is what is your favorite SNL SNL? How did I phrase it? SNL skit. Where's your favorite SNL movie based on a skit? And Wayne's World is definitely probably one of my favorite. Even Blues Brothers is pretty sweet, but Wayne's World gets an S tier for me. It was a lot of fun. I love the Wayne's World. What is that? The sketches. Love the Wayne's World movies. Both of them. Totally awesome. So this is the list. Just gonna give it quick scrolls up and down. Check that out. That's the list. And remember to catch new episodes of Let's Talk But No Politics, okay? Every Sunday, BICBP Radio Network, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast. Where else we on? Audible or Amazon Music. Also, bonus episodes every Friday, like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern, Helium Radio Network. That's every Friday. Go to the Facebook page. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Check out the other videos that I've done tearing on as well, as I've done 80s movies. And like I said with The Truman Show, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.